And now, it's time for another Dice Tower review with Tom Vasel.
In World War II, there were many, many battles, but one of the battles that the people in Singapore know was at the Malay Regiment. When Japan attacked and conquered Singapore, these guys were defending Bukit Chandu, and they kind of came in there and they lost. Think of it almost as, if you're an American, an Alamo situation for them. But they stood there, and it was a great moment for them, a great point in history for them. And this game acknowledges that. Regimen, the Lions of Bukit Chandu, soldier on. This is a cooperative game for up to 4 players, where the Japanese troops are coming in, and you have to fight them off as quickly as you can before they overrun them. Sounds exciting? Let's look. You set the board up just like this, and each person is going to take one of the special characters in a game. You're either the fireman, the scout, the medic, the heavy, or the strategist, and you're going to place the person that you are on one of the 4 corners here, the tunnels. Each side here has some troops on that side, and then there's a whole big chart over here with troops. Now, each player is going to get 2 fame points, and they're also going to get either an ammunition token or a med kit, your choice. On a player's turn, the first thing they're going to do is they're going to have the bad guys attack. They'll be doing that by drawing from the event deck. They're going to draw a number of cards equal to the number of fame points they have. So at the beginning of the game, they'll draw 2. The first card shows where reinforcements are. They come from the east. So this shows that 2 of these soldiers, who I pull off the board here on the very end of it, and I'm going to put them on the east. There's a compass in the middle of the game, so they're placed in those 2 spots over there on the eastern side. If I have multiple cards, more than 2, let's say I'm drawing 4, the first 3 will be deployed just like that. Then, the last card I draw, also east, that means everybody on the east moves 1 space towards the middle. So these guys would all move 1 space in. And that's how the bad guys work. Now, if the bad guys move into a space that has sandbags, they don't move, and the sandbag itself is removed instead. And the center spot here has 4 sandbags. If they move into the center spot, and once the sandbags are gone, and for some reason they move into the center spot, then you're going to lose troops over here on this board from the top row. If you can see, this board here has troops on the top row, the enemy troops in the middle, enemy tanks, and enemy planes. And as you don't want any of these rows to get all the way to here, or else you lose the game. So as you lose troops from the top row, that's going to be bad for you. Also, as you pull troops off and put them on the board, that's also going to be bad for you. After that happens anyway, then the player has action points equal to their fame points again. To do this, they can do an action point where they move orthogonally around the board, although the scout can move diagonally. They can also attack. When you attack, you're going to roll 2 special dice. These dice have some 1s, a couple 2s, 3 1s, 2 2s, and a 3 on them. You will roll both dice, and you will use the lower number. Now, I just happen to roll the most awesome roll ever, which has never happened to us in an actual game. You will then be able to kill units equal to the number. Each soldier is worth 1 point, tanks are worth 2, and planes are worth 3. So I would actually have been able to kill a plane with that roll. I'm able to re-roll the lower die by expending an ammunition token if I want, and if there's someone else in my spot, I'm also +1. So I will kill any units. In that case, I would have killed both those units and take those units in front of me. If there had been units left over, then they roll, and if they roll anything higher than a 1, so as long as I roll 1, I'm fine, but otherwise, my character's wounded and will remain wounded. I can't do anything until another player will move into my spot and use a med kit. So that's basically it. You're running around and taking these troops out. When you have enough troops, 4 troops or a few tanks or a plane, I can then turn those in, putting them back here on the chart, and taking a fame point for them, which of course will increase the number of events I have in my turn, but will also increase the number of actions I can take. In fact, when I get troops at my turn, if there's another person there, I can give him the troops to give him the fame point. All you need to do to win this game, I say that lightly, is get 5 fame points. One person. If one person gets 5 fame points, then you all win the game. There are many ways to lose. Mostly, as these troops come down the board, if they get down here to the bottom one of the rows, you have lost the game. Also, though, when you get to certain lines in the board with the troops, you will have to flip tiles over on the board. Those tiles are now destroyed. You can't go into those tiles. And if enough tiles are destroyed, the game will also end. You'll flip double tiles over here. But I'm going to assume that most of the time you're going to lose because troops will move into the center city. And when they move into the center city, they go back to these tunnels. Now, the tunnels are useful because you can spend 1 movement point to move from one tunnel to the other. So that does help you move across the board. And each person has special abilities. The medic can use an ammunition token as a medic kit. The fireman can go and turn these tiles back over. I told you the scout can move diagonally. The heavy, when he uses an ammo box, can re-roll the die twice. And the strategist can take a look at these cards as they come up, before they come up, and he can reorder them into the way that he wants. Airplanes move a little bit differently for the bad guys. Instead of going to the center, they just keep flying in a straight line. And when there's airplanes with troops and you fight them, then the bad guys shoot first before you do. That's basically it. You're either going to lose, when I say you're probably going to lose, or you might win. Woo! This is hard! Hard game, but it's possible to win because I've beaten it. But I'll tell you, my first game we played, we just got massacred. It's tough. When someone falls down and they're wounded, you need to go over and help them, but you don't really want to help them because it's a waste of your actions and it will take a while to get over there. But if you don't help them, that really hurts your team. You've got to get together. These troops just keep coming in, coming in. The game has a similar feel to other cooperative games, specifically Castle Panic and maybe Pandemic with the special rules, but it does have a nice flavor of its own, and it's very simple and easy to teach. I'm not saying it's simple to win, but there's not a whole lot of options that you do. You move around, you fight soldiers, you roll dice, you fight off the troops, and it's very exciting. It's an exciting game to play, and it has to me, it has a pretty cool theme because you think of yourself as these brave soldiers fighting against the forces of tyranny that are coming in and fighting them off. So I like it. I mean, the artwork is okay. The scout is hilarious because he looks like he's running from danger and agony. But I love the cards. They came from the South, and it has that old-timey feeling, which it does have. The box quality, all the component quality is very high. So this is a different kind of cooperative game. Most of you probably have never even heard of this, but it is certainly one that you might want to look into getting, especially if you like those light games where basically you're standing in the middle and hordes of bad guys are coming at you. You probably should lose, and in fact, you will lose because just because you get 5 fame points doesn't mean that the Japanese aren't going to come in and destroy anyway. But you want to go down in the history books as a hero, and that's what this game lets you do. Regimen.
Thanks so much for watching the Dice Tower videos. Find more great videos and reviews as well as our top-rated audio podcast at Dicetower.com. You can also find other great shows at Dicetowernetwork.com. I'm Eric Summerer, and you've been watching The Dice Tower. The Dice Tower is sponsored by Cool Stuff Inc., where you can find great games for great prices. Cool stuff in stock. Check them out at CoolStuffInc.com.
Shut the door.